probably most, if not all, Americans feel a great deal of frustration toward the Iraqi government and the slowness in which they've taken steps that are commensurate with the military side of this equation. I certainly share those. When folks talk about sending a message to the Iraqi government, there's very few things we can see and affect, such as military reductions, that we perceive as perhaps being helpful in turning the screws, encouraging them to make those hard decisions. Advise us, sir, what can we do effectively to send a message to facilitate positive steps by Maliki and the government that's currently in power?
It's a great question, and certainly it's one that General Petraeus and I wrestle with almost every day. First, on the issue of troop reductions as a lever, I think we have to be very careful about this. If the Iraqis develop the sense that we're prepared for a non-conditions-based withdrawal of substantial numbers of our troops, my view is that it would make them less inclined to compromise and not more. And the reason for that is that if they see us coming out, they're still going to be there. And they're then going to be looking increasingly over the tops of our heads, over the horizon, to figure out how they're going to survive and how they're going to get through the coming massive sectarian conflict. So it's the kind of thing we've got to think very carefully about, and I'm extremely cautious in ever putting that out on the table. I find that what I kind of need to do on a day-to-day basis is first try to understand, and that's why I spent some time in my statement on how things got to be the way they are in Iraq. That doesn't mean saying, well, you're an abused child, so it's okay to do whatever you want, but it does help to understand why these things are difficult. With that understanding, then figuring out where some pressure works, what kinds of pressure, where encouragement works, where some fresh thinking works. And we employ all of that on a fairly regular basis. And one example of a small success was our encouragement for the Anbar Forum that took place just last Thursday that brought federal and provincial leaders together in Anbar.
Before the gentleman's time has expired, thank the gentleman. Before I call Mr. Manzou, gentleman from Illinois, let me add a footnote that we speak about benchmarks, and we've had testimony in the Armed Services Committee that the benchmarks are really commitments made by the Maliki government. Mr. Manzullo, 5 minutes.